think when we do something like that.
What's up, fight fans? This is the Combat Connection, and I'm your host, Brett Cagle, joined as always by Eddie Law, and we got another week of combat sports to break down for you. As of last weekend, Vinicius Oliveira went down in the main event of the UFC Fight Night to Mario Bautista. Eddie, you were there covering the event. A lot of people were really high on Vinicius Oliveira coming into this one, but the veteran Mario Bautista, honestly, he puts together, in my opinion, the biggest win of his career, most impressive win of his career. Obviously, he beat Jose Aldo, but a lot of people gave him crap for that contest, especially the way he won it. This time around, absolutely dominated the young contender. How impressed were you with his performance on Saturday night?
You know, I was impressed, but let's be real. It's not like anyone – look, and again, before the event, I never make picks. This is normal, right? If you're going to cover the event, you probably don't want to piss off the guy who you choose to lose, right? Who you pick to lose. But the talk in the media room the whole week, between, at least for me, I can't speak to anybody else, was if this is a 5-round fight. Neither one has fought 5 rounds in the UFC before. Neither one has made evented in the UFC before, right? So what was the problem? Not the problem, but the idea here was, basically Oliveira likes to come out, go right at it, right? Immediately blitz guys, right? So it was like, all right, is he going to come out and do that? Or is he going to hang back and basically save the energy for 5 rounds? And he kind of did a mixture of both. And the weird part, too, is he wrestled early. He shot in before Mario did. That was strange to me, like immediately strange. So as soon as I saw him shoot, I was like, oh, he's going to get tired and gas out. Remember, the weight cut, crazy amount of weight that he cut, like 30-some pounds, something like that, allegedly. And then on top of that, Mario is an athlete. And not only that, he can last as long as he needs to. So we all kind of knew it was going to happen. What we didn't really think was going to happen, I didn't think was going to happen, to finish in the second round. Great finish from Mario. Again, I agree with you. Probably the biggest win of his career outside of Jose Aldo, outside of name value, obviously, with Jose Aldo. And shut down an up-and-comer, dude. It was a great win. Great fight. I was happy that it ended in the second round. We're all sitting there. Not that we cared. It wasn't late night or anything. But it was one of those things where we're just sitting there going like, are we going to get a finish or another boring decision, or what are we going to do?
Yeah, no, it was good for Bautista, too, because a lot of people have been talking about how he's been going to decision in all of his fights. We haven't necessarily seen Mario Bautista go out there and finish opponents like we know he can based on his skill set. He goes out there this weekend, and honestly, he finishes a dangerous guy in Vinicius Oliveira. And I like what you said, Eddie, that it gave you an alarm when Vinicius was the one who went for the takedown first. And I think that's because he wasn't really getting the better of the striking exchanges to the point that he thought he was going to coming in. I mean, it's great when you're on the Contender Series. You can hit a guy one time and he falls down in front of you. But when you get up into the upper echelon of this division and you're fighting the Mario Bautistas and you're fighting, the guys that are even ahead of Bautista, then it's going to be really tough. And those guys aren't just going to fall down because you're the more athletic guy. So I thought this was a great performance by Bautista. I'm very interested to see what he does next. Is there anybody you'd like to see him specifically fight next, Eddie?
Mario, I need to see him against the top 5 guy. Basically, like he's one of those guys that's definitely, no matter what happened with the Jose Aldo fight, no matter what happened with the 2 fights,
like a couple months ago.
Who doesn't?
Yeah,
who doesn't? Oh, and that's the thing. But it's one of those things where it's like who's the champ right now? Fucking
Merab, or not Merab, Peter Yan.
Yan. It's Yan, and then I would put Merab above Yan personally, but that's just me. But it's those 2 guys up here: Sean O'Malley, Umar, everybody else, right, including Mario. Umar's like the gatekeeper's gatekeeper. He's the one making sure no one else has another shot at this. So I want to see that rematch. I think that would be the smart fight. I think, and I asked Mario about it. I was like, hey, do you want that back? I asked him immediately, do you want to run that one back? He goes, yeah, of course I do. Right? He wants to run it back. So I say we run it back. Let him run it back. Winner gets a shot. Or close to it.
I don't know. If you have Umar right now, he's probably the biggest name value outside of O'Malley. Yeah. I could very easily see O'Malley going and fighting Peter Yan next, obviously, because that sells the most pay-per-views. But that would also set up a contest down the future between O'Malley and Nurmagomedov, which would be a big seller as well. So I think that's kind of where the promotion's looking. But for Mario, going in there and getting a sub last weekend is only going to get you closer to those matchups you're talking about, Eddie. And if he keeps going out there and finishing guys like he did, he might get into one of those big matchups like we're talking about. But we got a lot to discuss here on the show today. We are going to move down to the co-main event. Kyoji Horiguchi. I mean, this guy is just impressed, Eddie, since coming back into the promotion, gets a big win in his debut, and then here defeats Amir Albazi by unanimous decision. Kyoji Horiguchi has to be on the short list for a title at 125 pounds coming up with Joshua Van. Obviously, Pantoja would want to get that back when he comes back from injury. But Kyoji Horiguchi, in my opinion, Eddie, right now, as I'm looking at the rankings, he might be the most skilled guy in the division.
He is. I think he's the most skilled guy. I think him and Pantoja are head and shoulders about everybody else because they both have. Look, you got former champion Pantoja, right? He's out obviously with the arm thing. He's gonna heal it up, probably get a shot, at least he'll get a shot probably in his first fight comes back, depending regardless of who the champion is. Horiguchi, he just fucking owned Albazi. Albazi had no answer for him. Albazi could handle the speed, the quickness, couldn't handle the angles. Basically, Amir was playing defense the entire fight.
The grappling didn't work either.
Nothing worked. I think Amir just moved his camp over to Dubai. He had the reasons for it. He didn't really tell us exactly, but he had been thinking about moving his camp to Dubai. He wanted a smaller team. You know, if you guys remember, he was training at Fight Ready last time we saw him, and so maybe something in the transition didn't work out. Maybe someone in his camp didn't scout Horiguchi enough, but the game plan was not working at all against Horiguchi. It was a great win for Horiguchi, of course.
Yeah, it was one-way traffic. I got the striking statistics here, fight fans. 99 total strikes landed for Kyoji Horiguchi, 20 on the side of Amir Albazi over the 3 rounds. One judge actually gave Albazi a round in this contest.
Ooh.
I don't know, but it's 2 30-27s, which obviously we agree with. And then one judge gave it a 29-28. I don't know what happened there, but 0 of 7 for takedown attempts from Amir Albazi, who obviously is a credentialed grappler and somebody whose wrestling we respect, especially at this weight class. But Horiguchi comes in here and he beats Albazi. I mean, here's the thing, Eddie. How much stock do you put into the Albazi win, given the time off, given the injury concerns that Albazi had? Do you think this is a big enough win to immediately put Kyoji Horiguchi into a title shot?
Oh, man, that's a tough question. Because I did ask him, I said, what do you want next? He goes, I just want the belt. I don't care how it happens. I want the belt. Doesn't matter who it is against, right? And so that's what he came back for. I did, and shout out Jay Anderson. He was the one that sent me the question, our editor. Basically, he wanted me, and I did ask him. I said, why did you come back, basically? I said in a nice way I could. It's like, why'd you come back now? You were in the UFC before, left the Ryzen and Bellator and just killed it over there, came back. Why come back now? He goes, it was time. This guy came back primed. Mind you, he's got like 40-some fights, 50-some professional fights, and who knows how many others we don't even know about. And so he came back, and I believe him. This looks like prime Horiguchi. This looks like his time to finally make a run at the title. I want to see him fight for the title sooner than later. I don't know how he needs to.
I want to see him fight next. My opinion to the question that I asked to you was, I don't know if Amir Albazi is good enough right now to warrant a title shot in normal circumstances, but given the depth of this weight class, where Pantoja's at, the guys who have already been ran through, we've recycled through Kaya Sakura. Hell, he got a title shot without ever even fighting in the UFC. So, I mean, Kyoji Horiguchi, if you matched him up against Kaya Sakura right now, I think he'd be a 4-1 favorite. He's obviously the more skilled fighter and probably a bigger challenge to the belt than he ever was when he came in. So I think that Kyoji Horiguchi should be next in line for Joshua Van if he wants to get one in before Pantoja returns. We got to move on down the card here, Eddie, to one of the least exciting fights that I've seen. And to be honest, Jailton Almeida has been in a couple snoozers here in his last 5 fights, one of them against Derek Lewis and then against Rizvan Kuniev here. Rizvan did get the win. I picked him to win last week, he was the only underdog on the main card to cash in. So Rizvan Kuniev, unanimous decision here, Eddie, but it was one of the most boring fights that we'll ever see. And we've had guys in our space like Luke Thomas say, why don't we just abolish the heavyweight division at this point? After seeing that's what they're saying. Him and Chuck were talking about it on Morning Combat. And here's what they were saying. Rico Verhoeven, Francis Ngannou, the biggest stars at heavyweight are maybe not even in the UFC right now. John Jones, we're going to talk about him later. Maybe he's gone. Maybe he's retiring. Why does the UFC put the glamour division of our sport on the back burner while we sit here and we have to watch Kuniev and Almeida and act like they're the 3rd and 4th best guys in the world? I don't see it that way. Rico Verhoeven's going to the sport of boxing because the UFC undersold him, in my opinion. That's probably the only way that that's happening. And Francis Ngannou is sitting out there, and he might beat Tom Aspinall. I would not bet my life that Tom Aspinall would go in there and beat Francis Ngannou. That would be a competitive matchup. But we're not even seeing those things because the UFC is refusing to play ball at heavyweight and refusing to shell out the money to these top-level prospects that have not proven themselves in their promotion yet. So, Eddie, I want to see what your opinion was of that fight. And then what do you just think of the whole landscape at heavyweight right now, given the circumstances? So
this boring was, how boring this fucking fight was? I didn't even make a goddamn graphic, and I just realized right now I didn't make a winner's graphic for it because it was such a dog shit fight. No one cared. We were talking to somebody during the fight, and I looked over on my head. Did we miss anything? And they were like, "Fuck no, you didn't. You missed a nap." But what's up, Jack?
What's going on, man?
But it was that boring, right? First of all, I'll take an issue with what Luke Thomas said. I like Luke Thomas. You know I like Luke Thomas. I talk about him all the time.
I like him too.
I think he's great. But I think if we abolish every fucking division, every time there's a boring fight, we wouldn't have any MMA. Is that what we want? We just abolish everything? No, absolutely not.
This is supposed to be the exciting division, though, Eddie. This is where we get our bangers. Brock Lesnar, Shane Carwin. I mean, all these.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Fights.
Keep going.
Cain Velasquez, JDS. Those fights were great.
Okay, stop right there. What year are we talking about, buddy? You're talking about 30 years ago.
Since Zuffa has been purchasing the UFC, we haven't seen him play ball at heavyweight. We saw them. How many guys did they acquire from Strikeforce in that deal, Eddie? They came over and were just great heavyweights for us with Overeem and Cormier and all those guys.
Right. Here's the problem: is heavyweights don't want to work that hard either. They're big dudes for a fucking reason. You don't have Daniel Cormiers that put in hours upon hours and days upon days. You got guys who are like, I'm a big guy. I got my. You know, it's like it's like every division progressed. The heavyweight division regressed heavily. Right. Yeah. What do we have now? We got guys that want to take down and hold and hug. Okay, cool. We got guys that want to wrestle and put you at the cage and little bullshit punches to the body thinking it's going to score points. Okay, fine. But why are we regressing so much? Why? Because nobody wants to be a heavyweight and fucking work hard. Derek Lewis is one of the few. And he was a lazy ass too not long ago. Now he's actually putting in work. So yeah, 100% right. The division sucks right now in the UFC. I mean, I would say, I don't know if I call PFL's better. I don't think it is. I would say if you could grab some of the guys from one championship, if you can grab some of the guys from PFL.
Just have him go less time. Here's the thing, though. You mentioned Derek Lewis. He has finishing ability. When I look back at the guys who were ranked 7 through 12 10 years ago, you mentioned 10 years ago. We're talking about Mark Hunt, Roy Nelson, Ben Rothwell, Frank Mir. We're talking about guys who finish fights. Now we're seeing guys who honestly are style-wise rinse and repeat. We're seeing Martin Buday. We're seeing Alexander Romanov. We're seeing Sergey Spivak this coming next weekend. How many of these guys do we see that just do large cage control against the fence and try to grind out fights in what is supposed to be the most exciting division in the entire sport? It's really alarming to me as a fight fan seeing that. And Eddie, do you think that the UFC is kind of letting us as the fans down by not going after these guys like Ngannou and Rico Verhoeven?
Fuck, they're doing boxing dude. They don't give a shit about MMA. They don't. Let's be real. They don't. Do they? Do you think they do? You know why? No, Dana yesterday or earlier today, was it yesterday or today? He was like, I'm going to go fucking live, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I announced my boxing thing. And I guess I'm going to go do some White House fights now. I don't know what the fuck's going
on. Definitely 4 ounces. They do have the best heavyweight right now. But it's just, why don't they have the fight for that heavyweight, Tom Aspinall? He should be fighting Ngannou. He should be fighting Jones. He should be fighting Verhoeven.
This is why,
he should be fighting all these guys. And it's just.
Have you seen Rogue from one championship?
Yep.
Have you seen that totally?
Steroids. I mean, a lot of it. Yep.
I'm just saying.
Buchecha in. They did try bringing Buchecha in, but
look, the UFC for some reason is not even scouting heavyweights. If they would have scouted heavyweights, they would have grabbed Ben Tainan. You know who Ben Tainan is? He's a heavyweight for one championship. All right, the dude has personality. He's funny as hell. He does his own. He's Blue Chew. He's sponsored by Blue Chew. He does his own fucking Blue Chew commercials. It's fucking hilarious. All right, the guy can talk. The guy can fight. The guy can even wrestle. He doesn't want to. He wants to throw hands with everybody. Right? He had his last fight was against a kickboxer. It was even a snoozer. And I talked to him the other day, and in an interview you can find on Cageside Press, and he was just like it was a point five about the shit. He wants to fight Rogue. He wants to fight Anatoly. He wants to fight the big guy. So. It's kind of I can't really, no one can really pinpoint what is wrong with this UFC heavyweight division. To me, I just think it's scouted. It's negligent scouting. They're not looking at all. They're just like, you're big. What are you weighing? Heavyweight? Yeah, come over here.
Yeah, I agree with you about the scouting part, but also the acquisition part. They were acquiring whole companies back in the 2010s and bringing all this talent over. Now we can't get single fighters. I mean, with that one purchase of Strikeforce, you had all those guys that we mentioned, and you had Barnett and Bigfoot Silva, and you had guys that slotted in on the back half of your top 15 that you could actually sell as legitimate contenders moving forward. So I don't know. Right now, it's a sad state of affairs for what we've seen as fight fans in the past for the heavyweight division. All the other divisions right now, I love middleweight. I love where welterweight's at with Jack and Islam and Shavkat and Pratis and all these guys. No doubt about it. But the heavyweight division is what sells tickets, knockouts. And I just wish that was happening. And I accidentally did misread by Zach that he said Octagon has the best heavyweight division. I have to learn more about Octagon.
Oh no, Octagon is dope as fuck. Hey, go hit up Patrick McCoy. He'll tell you all about it. Octagon, dude, Will LaFleur. Will Fleury, not LaFleur.
Pride and Strikeforce.
Hey, Will fucking Fleury is a dog. Yeah. Right?
Did he fight in Bellator?
Oh, where is he from?
He's Irish, correct?
Yeah, he's Irish, but I can't remember. No, Bellator one. No, PFL one time. Not Bellator, PFL.
Is this real?
Oh, really?
Almeida just got cut?
I'm gonna laugh. It's like it'd be hilarious.
Hey, that's good timing because we're sitting here talking about it. So I mean, obviously UFC's not putting up with it anymore. If that is actually the case, is that what we're seeing?
Oh, I got you. Breaking news. Larete Biana. Oh yeah, I know Larete. Yeah, he's reporting. It's official.
Wow, Jailton Almeida cut from the UFC officially after saying that he might move down. Nolan King officially was maybe one of the first there.
He confirmed it.
Yeah. And but anyway, for Almeida, Eddie, this is a guy who, when he originally came on the scene at light heavyweight, everybody had a lot of prospects and hopes for. Moves up to the heavyweight division, and we didn't see that same finishing style. He just, after this last fight, said he might want to move back down. The UFC's not playing games at all. Gets rid of him. I mean, instant reaction. What do you think?
Are you surprised? I'm not. You know what I mean? He after the fight. So okay. At the fucking media day, we asked him. We were like, "Hey, man, what do you think about people that criticize your fight style?" Right? And he basically said, "Fuck him, I win. Not anymore, dog. You're out of here." So now, where do you think he goes? What do you think if you're him?
I mean, you got to go to the PFL, or I mean, when does Rizvan start coming back in and start getting guys at the heavyweight division? Because honestly, they got one of the best shows out there, and they have a historical perspective on their organization as well. But for me, Eddie, here's the deal. You can't keep cutting these guys. You're cutting Rosenstruck. You're cutting Romanov. You're cutting this guy, Almeida. Yeah. Who are we going to have left? This is why the heavyweight division sucks. We have no talent in the promotion. And we're cutting more talent immediately. Let
me ask you, do you think, are they signaling like a move away from the heavyweight division?
How can you move away from the division that has historically been the best division? It's just because they don't want to pay the money, because that's where the real money is that they got to pay to these guys at the top. So
all right, I don't know. Let me ask you, who's available that they should go get? You can't trade. This isn't fucking baseball. You can't be like, hey, let me give you this guy.
They should have signed Rico Verhoeven. They should immediately sign Gable Stevenson and do what they're doing with Bo and throw him 5 fights of these guys we're talking about, Boudet and these type of guys, and get him up there. But listen, they shouldn't have let go of Rosenstruck, in my opinion, who has legal issues now. So that's, maybe for the better, and they made the right decision. But they are letting go of these top guys. But Rico Verhoeven should be signed. Gable Stevenson should be signed. And I know you can't trade for Francis Ngannou, but that's a promotion that might go bankrupt, and you could probably give them cash consideration and they just give you the contract. So I don't know. I think that Dana in 2012, not the Dana of Power Slap and Zuffa Boxing, these guys would have been on the roster 3 years ago.
Yeah, back when they were hungry and thinking that they were now. Okay, now it's this whole listen. Are you think we're Jelly Roll fucking Parallels? I'd be down. No, here's the thing. Do you think we're at the spot? We're at the point where how do you put it? Where the UFC believes they're too big to fail?
Yes, 100%. And when Dana leaves this promotion, it's going to be ran by businessmen, not people who were born and bred in the fight game. So these guys who have their degrees from Harvard or business guys like Hunter Campbell, we'll see what happens when Dana fully gets out of there, because you're going to have to make negotiations with these guys like Francis Ngannou and Rico Verhoeven and these guys. And it hasn't happened yet, Eddie. We haven't seen it.
Look, the UFC is not what we used to know, right? It's a business. It's a legit. It's legit. What do you call it? It's like WWE at this point, right? They only want big names and all that. Like it's a sad state of affairs, like you said. I honestly don't know how to fix it. I know Luke Thomas is like, maybe we should just abolish the heavyweight division. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of a division. Then what? You know what I mean? Like they've been trying to get rid of women's MMA forever. They've been trying to get rid. They try to get rid of the flyweight division.
We're gonna get rid of the heavyweight division before 125. Like
I'm saying, look, whoever. When Hunter takes over, no, Hunter took over. Let's be honest. Dana's not even involved.
This comment right here. It's corporate. It's Fortune 500. It's Wall Street. It's publicly traded. It's it's not what we grew up watching.
No. That's what we need, guys like Josh Hoke and Stephen Aspin to be successful. Revive it.
For real.
Revive it. We'll see what happens.
And there is some good. I mean, off the top of my head, Hoke is a very good contender. And Asplin, he has some losses, but he's good in the stand-up and exciting. And they both, are good at media and that sort of thing and getting eyes on it. But talent-wise, Eddie, there ain't somebody who I'm sitting here outside Gable Stevenson that I really think is, this guy's the champ in 2 years, 3 years. This guy is a bad dude. It's Gable, and I think it's going to be a bunch of guys in the next 10 years. I
need Gable to fight someone that can fight back before I can be on and tell you that. Because what happens if you fight someone that can actually fight back and gets his ass whooped? You're going to be sitting there going like, oh, we got honey dick.
Eddie, if he doesn't get signed for the Contender Series coming up next year, and they amp it up on Paramount Plus like they did Bo Nickel, and it's Gable Stevenson, the Olympian, he's going to come here on Paramount or on Contender Series. If they don't sign him on Contender Series, how much of a detriment or an alarm is that to you for the promotion?
I don't know, dude. Honestly, like does
I think it's a red flag. You can't not let this dude get into the UFC.
No.
I mean, he could be a top 10 dude right now, in my opinion. And
the reason I'm saying that is because like he's already in the UFC. Like the plan is already there. You think he's gonna go anywhere else? Like honestly, he's not Torres Finney, who should have never been in the UFC in the fucking first place. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
you're right.
Gable Stevenson has a resume. He has with the gold medal. He has everything you need. All he needs to do now is learn how to fucking market himself and talk a little bit, at least a little bit.
Get the hands up a little bit.
And get the hands going. That's it. That's all he needs to do. He's going to come in. He's going to wreck his way up into the top 5 in no time.
Yep. I agree with you 100%.
They're going to get him.
But to your point about people not wanting to fight him outside the UFC, the same thing happened with Cain Velasquez, a historically great champion who we both watched. Nobody wanted to fight him outside the UFC. He was coming from the best camp, and they knew this guy was a former collegiate wrestler at a very high level, just like Gable. And what they did was sign him with, I believe, 4 fights at the time, 4 or 5 fights, and they signed him early. I think they, just to save face for the heavyweight division, got to be like, this kid's the future. We have something to market behind in this division. You know?
I'm gonna tell you what I heard. I heard from somebody that the UFC is gonna stop signing people unless they have like a lot of fights, like a lot of experience. They're gonna stop signing these like 4 or 5 fight guys. That's what I heard. I'm not sure if it's true. I mean,
we'll see. We got Ode Osborne in 2 weeks coming on the card, and I think he's like 14-10. So
yeah,
I mean, it is what it is, and Ode's done a lot of good things for the company, and he's a good fighter, no doubt about it.
I know we got more of the credit, but I got to ask you something. Yeah. Do you think MMA is getting stale as a whole?
Yeah, I think it's getting watered down. I do. I think
like, do you get excited about any cards anymore?
I'm excited for Strickland and Hernandez. And here's the thing. I'm excited for individual fights on cards because back when we watched 10 years ago and you'd have your buddies over, you'd go to Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever, it was 5 fights, 6 fights, a main card that you're like, I got to see these fights. 100%. I got to see all of them. And I've got to get there early and I got to get my table. I don't see that anymore. I'm interested in Sean Strickland and maybe, this fight. And that's what kind of people are, in my opinion, interested in, not the whole card. And I think that's because of the watering down of the sport, the 52 cards we have to get a year or 50 cards, whatever it is. And they have to stretch that to where they might be only having to put 3 fights per card that really garner attention from the fans, which I don't know. Do you think that's making it stale, that the more events are kind of lagging this out?
I think people have UFC exhaustion. Like real fans have UFC exhaustion, not these assholes that go to the event. I mean, come on, last pay-per-view, his last numbered event, last 2 numbered events. Who was in the front row? Not a real fucking fan. It was a bunch of fucking celebrities. Chris Rock was there. Chris Rock don't give a shit about MMA. You got a bunch of rich assholes because it's a place to go be seen, right? The real fan has been priced out. They're getting pushed out. So you're not going to get these fight cards that mean anything at all.
Yeah. And to the star point, Alex is still the champ. He will be back here. And Conor, I believe Conor will fight at some point. And Ilya obviously just had the divorce. We're going to talk about that. That got settled. So he'll be back in there sooner rather than later. So, so we talked a lot about going on the heavyweight divisions discussion there, Eddie.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and just down the card real quick. We'll do some quick thoughts on some of the rest of the Fight Night card. Oleksiejczuk was able to beat Marc-Andre Barriault. Eddie, I thought he should have got him out of there. Powerbar really showed his toughness. Actually, he fought well. And I thought potentially was going to steal a victory because in the second half of that fight, he turned it on while Oleksiejczuk faded. I thought that Mikel looked all right, but when a guy doesn't go down in front of him, he's got to be able to keep that gas tank up and show some volume other than that big straight left hand. What'd you think of that one?
That was good. I thought it was a fun fight, honestly.
Yeah, it was a fun fight.
And those are the kind of fights that you like to fill in the card. Like you're not going to get that kind of fight in the main event. You're not going to get that kind of fight in the co-main event. Those are the kind of fights you sprinkle in. When styles make fights. That's been the old adage for fucking ever, right? You know who understood that? Just Joe Silva understood that, right? Mick Maynard used to understand that. Sean Shelby used to understand that. Dana White used to understand that. Now you don't even do MMA. It's you gotta build these cards correctly. It's gotta be like a top to bottom, the bottom to top. The problem is there's, like you said, there's so many fucking cards. How do you make them all good? You can't. It's impossible at this point. Because you filled in the roster too. You promised too many fucking events. You promised too many damn fights, and you don't have enough high level fighters. So you're gonna get some bullshit. You're gonna get like the random point guard that comes into the game, right? And you're like, who the fuck is that? Is that even a basketball player? That kind of shit all the time.
I like that point. Hardcore fight fans knew that this one was going to be a back and forth contest if Power Bar got after that past that first round. So he did, and it was a good, entertaining affair. Down the rest of the card, we had Farid Basharat stay undefeated here, Eddie, against Gene Matsumoto, who I thought won by split decision here. I think Sal D'Amato was the dissenting judge who went with Farid Basharat in this one. How'd you have this one scored?
I didn't fucking care, dude. It was one of those fights. Look, here's the thing about that fight. It should have been a finish for Farid, right? It should have been.
Mills, hey, go ask Pat Danna had to take the night off, but yeah.
Okay, are we talking about Javid or Farid?
Farid.
My bad.
Undefeated still over Gene Matsumoto.
Okay, that was a hell of a fight.
Javid.
Jesus Christ, bro, you got me all fucked up. I talked to both of them.
The guy who's undefeated who fought Gene Matsumoto. I'm sorry.
All right, where is he? All right, here we go. There we go. All right, Farid was pissed because Vasquez, Yanni Vasquez, he missed weight. Mind you, he missed weight coming in on like a day's notice. Again, he is a 125er, like I think originally Vasquez. So it's a weird thing that he even missed weight, but he missed weight, fine. He comes in and Vasquez almost knocked him the fuck out, right? And
no, this guy's he's looked not as good as Farid has, and he got knocked out by Ricky Simon a few fights ago.
No, 100%, right. And Javid's out of the UFC, by the way. He's not even in there anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I was talking about Farid. I'm sorry, we got confused.
So we're going Farid. But
yeah, Gene Matsumoto, and that was a close fight. I thought Gene Matsumoto actually won that fight, but I don't know. What'd you think?
I thought it was a great fucking fight, but I thought Farid probably edged it out a little bit. Now, Gene Matsumoto, he brought in all kinds of heart, but it was one of those things where no matter who won, you were like, all right, whatever. Yeah. Now, for Farid, my biggest question is why the fuck isn't he already ranked? He's beat 6 guys. Now he's, I think, 7 guys now. 7 guys in the UFC. How is he having to have a number? I haven't looked at the rankings yet, right? But he comes into the media room and I asked him, I said, are you frustrated that you're 6-0 before this in the UFC? You're undefeated overall. You're on a hell of a win streak. How come does it bother you you're not ranked? And he goes, first of all, who in here votes? And it was me and Ken, Ken from MMA Junkie. Everyone else was watching the fights, and we're like, we don't have votes, so I'm gonna tell you. And he goes, all right, well, that's some bullshit. So he's upset about not being ranked. Like at this point, I haven't looked yet, but he should be ranked at this point. There's no way he shouldn't be ranked. The guy is talented. Now, I need to see a little bit more improvement. Now, these are the kind of fights he needs to win by finish in order to impress, right, and move up in the rankings. But no, both these guys are warriors, dude. I was kind of upset that they even matched him up because I like Matsumoto a lot. I think Matsumoto has a bright future. But Farid's a dog, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's very talented. I want to see him fight a ranked guy next. For Gene Matsumoto, though, I thought he showed real toughness. He came in as a plus 230 dog, so odds makers thought he might have got finished in this fight, but showed why he's 17-1. I thought he won, honestly, but I wouldn't mind seeing these guys running back in the future. I think Gene's a contender himself, and he'll bounce back from this one with a victory.
They'll meet again. There's no way you don't after that fight. By the way, the one comment on it was I'm not sure why people were booing because people are stupid.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been booing him because it was a great fight, and they were tired as hell at the end of that. And
they were beat up.
But all right, moving down the card here, Eddie, we had Dustin Jacoby put the lights out on Julius Walker. This one was a big victory for the former Glory kickboxing veteran. Since he's came over to the UFC, Eddie, he's really had some really good wins. Sometimes here's my thing with Dustin Jacoby. He fights to the level of his competition. When he's fighting these guys that are, like Julius Walker, lower in the division, he's got more experience against. He looks very good. But when he's fighting guys like Alonzo Menafield, or he's fighting guys in some of these matchups where it's 50-50. He's kind of dropped the ball in some of those situations. Do you think Dustin Jacoby can make a final push towards a ranking or a big contender fight left in his career? Or do you think he's just kind of be one of these guys that's a benchmark for these contenders moving forward?
I think the latter. I think the latter, honestly. I think could he get a ranking? Absolutely. In fact, I was the one that asked him the question about Paulatown that everyone clipped and sent out there. Paulatown, I mean, he gave him praise and all that, and I agreed that he should be ranked and everything. I think Dustin Jacoby could be ranked. I think he should be ranked. Do I think he'll ever make a run for a title? No, he ain't gonna make no run for no title. He's 37 years old. It's a young man's game. He's gonna run to somebody. But he is sniping these young guys that keep aiming for him. He's Unk, right? They keep aiming for him. They keep going after his ass, and he's still knocking him down, taking him out. Julius Walker got a little too cute, and Dustin Jacoby is a hardened veteran who doesn't have time to fuck around. Julius Walker went in like he was fucking around. Dustin wasn't. And it ended up being going his way. So now I'm happy for Dustin. I mean, he's just one of those guys you kind of root for because he's super cool. You know, and he's a nice guy. So you kind of root for him and everything. But we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, great win for Dustin Jacoby. Is there anybody else on the fight card you want to talk about before we transition over to the PFL?
Donchenko is a dog. This fight with Morono, and why the hell did y'all cut Morono? That guy's a warrior. Fucking hell. But hell of a fucking fight. Danilo Donchenko said that he was looking for the finish because he wanted the 25K. So he says he fucked up because he was focused on the money and not on the actual fight. And so he thinks that's what happened. And I was like, after the post-fight scrum, I was like, no, Morono's just a dog, dude. That guy's not gonna die. You can shoot him 18 times and he ain't gonna die. That guy's a bad motherfucker, dude. So that was cool.
Daniil's a wild guy. I was at his fight at
Chicago.
UFC Noche.
No. He didn't fight Chicago. He got his opponent fell out.
He was at Noche.
Yeah. And that's where he won the Ultimate Fighter thing, right?
Yeah. By finish. He's a wild man.
Nico Lebretnikov or Nico Price. Nico, stop it, boy. Please stop. Yeah. I don't want to see Nico dead.
That's what I'm saying. We're cutting guys like Jailton Almeida and Ode Osborne and Nico Price are still on the roster. Like at some point, like I know they're sending a message, but it's like, what are we doing at some point? Like,
yeah. It's all right. Javid, forget him. Wayne Khan. Both girls came in super heavy, and she won a boring ass fight.
Wayne will actually be good though. Eduardo Moore is a tough girl.
This fight, just real quick. This is the last fight I want to talk about on this card. So he fought Moin Gafara. Yes, Gafara, right? So anyway, they go in there and fight. They go in there, they fight, and Moin's getting his ass whooped left and right. He ain't got a chance in this shit. Gets put in the guillotine. Jacob even told her, Jacob's like, I jumped the ghillie. Like, yeah, you did, dude. So he gets on top of him, gets the ghillie, whatever. Dude tapped twice, and he gets up like, oh, I didn't tap. Time ran out. Dude, Jacob comes up to him and just like, dude, you tapped.
I know. They were getting pissed a little bit at first. Like
they were going. Until it was Herb Dean came up to him. And he was like, hey, come on. What are you doing?
Thank God for instant replay, though, too.
Yeah. No,
Isn't it awesome?
Hey, back in the day,
I know.
You could have gone to replay
scorecards and Gavrov would have won.
You think so?
Yeah, probably. That's what he was banking on. Yeah, but you're right. Back in the day, they'd have gone to the scorecards though. Yeah,
it would have been crazy. No, it's always just a wild fight. I asked him about it afterwards. He was like, I was like, dude, he tapped twice. He goes, he tapped twice. What the fuck? Like he was actually kind of pissed about it afterwards, but he's happy about the win. He got 25K out of it. Fucking good for him.
Yeah. So. No, he is primarily a grappler though, right? Do you think he's going to be a legitimate prospect moving forward?
He's young. He's got.
It didn't look that great on the feet.
No,
obviously.
No, but we're not talking about a polished fucking 15 UFC fight veteran. We're talking about a kid. So he'll improve. We'll see what happens.
No, I think he's good. The grappling, he almost got that guillotine a couple of times in the first and second round.
Yeah.
The only reason I thought that he might have been behind on the scorecards is because he went for those guillotines and kind of got controlled for a few minutes.
Yeah,
in those early rounds. But
that's what happens when you jump the ghillie, man.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on to the PFL Dubai card from last weekend where Usman Nurmagomedov was able to defeat Alfie Davis by submission. Eddie, what was this submission? Dan Hardy was calling it a blood choke on the broadcast. I believe some people gave it a rear naked choke or neck crank, but he went like under the arm around the neck there. Yeah. And Alfie Davis didn't even know that he might have been in a choke at that point and was put to sleep. The referee, Kerry Hatley, did identify that Davis was actually unconscious, but Usman Nurmagomedov physically looked as good as I've ever seen him. He's got different muscle definition now at 27 than when we saw him at 24. And he fought as aggressive as I've ever seen, made Alfie Davis fight off the back foot and tentatively, even in the striking before taking him down and submitting him. Eddie, how impressed were you with this one?
Impressed? This is what I expected. I expected this. Had Alfie won this fight, had this gone decision, I would have been incredibly disappointed in Usman. Incredibly. Look, Alfie Davis, fun guy, funny guy, talented, nowhere near as good as Usman. Had no business being in there. I don't know if you agree or not, but either way. And by the way, I watched this fight with Jake Noaker, right? We were both covering UFC, so we actually stayed at the same hotel. We were watching it, and he called it a claw choke. So, and the way he explained it to me was because the arm was in the way and all that. It's kind of a claw choke / RNC, whatever it was, / reverse triangle. So it's a funky fucking choke. Like, I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu on Thursday and or tomorrow and ask somebody to see if we can recreate it because that was wild. But, but Usman's got one more fight in PFL. One more. Usman, for the love of freaking God, do not resign. Do not resign. He's going to be the next big thing in the UFC. Him and Topuria. Oh, my God. Oh, that'd be great. But here's the thing. Now, you can't come in like Patchy there, Usman. You cannot pull a Patchy, my guy. You got to come in and beat Usman and Almeida. You got to. You cannot shit the bed the way that dude did, unfortunately. And now he's off the horizon. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about him coming over. I want to see what he can do against the best of the best.
I am too. I think that he is probably one of the most talented fighters in the entire world, regardless of promotion. We're going to have to see him prove it in the UFC, though, if he wants to be regarded as such. Eddie, we also had another big win on this card from Ramazan Kurmagomedov, who beat Shamil Musayev, who we were both high on. We thought Musayev was going to win this one. But Kurmagomedov stopped the takedown of Musayev and was the more technical fighter on the feet, the faster fighter on the feet, and had more output for Musayev, who loaded up on big shots but couldn't really connect on him other than that 1/4 round. So for Ramazan, I thought this was the most impressive performance of his career. He's beaten Jason Jackson and Shamil Musayev in back-to-back fights. But I have to feel bad for Thad Jean in this one, Eddie, who flew all the way to Dubai to find out that Ramazan is now going to retire after this contest. So, I mean, we have something great for the PFL building, and it's just the balloon, the air sucked out of the balloon.
That was probably my favorite part of this whole card. Because I like chaos, I like silly shit, right? So, Ramazan gets the win, and he gets on the mic. He's like, I think this is his last fight. I don't even know how old he is, but he's like, this is my last fight, whatever. And Thad Jean is in the crowd. He's got this big old smile on him, like, oh, they're going to make his face up. It was the most awkward thing since McGregor and you remember the McGregor-Mayweather boxing fucking build-up? Yeah. And they call him the very first, press conference, right? The tour they did, that bullshit-ass world tour. He comes out, and he has no idea what he's doing, all right? Google, folks, I know I'm old. Google Ashley Simpson at SNL, where her voice track didn't play, it was just the music, and she started doing this weird ass jig. That is what Thad Jean looked like to me. He looked like, what the fuck? Why did I fly over here then?
Exactly. God damn it. Honest to God, I thought he was maybe going to try and shove Ramazan. You don't want to fight me? I'll start a fight.
That is not that guy.
Thad's personality.
That is not that guy.
That's not Thad's personality, but we've seen dudes do that in MMA.
What's he gonna do? Go shove the guy and be like, but Jesus, no, fuck out of here.
If he would have done that to Sean Strickland or Michael Bisping, what do you think would have happened?
Sean Strickland chased a guy into the cage that was fighting. He kicked his flip-flops off and went to punch a guy because he's telling him he did the fucking chop.
That's what I'm saying. What do
you think Sean Strickland would have done?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are dudes in MMA that would have been like, what the fuck do you mean you're retiring? And tried to start something.
Well, no one expected it. The PFL clearly didn't expect it because if PFL knew he was going to do that, they would not put him in his fight. It was not going to happen. So that's what it is. Dude.
Yeah, Thad Jean's one of the best people in the world. He wouldn't do that. But there are dudes
What do you want to see now? Vacant title. I want Musayev Thad Jean.
Yeah, that's probably what it's going to have to be. Jason Jackson, I'm hearing, is going to get his shot in the UFC. Is kind of the rumors. He deleted his entire Instagram, so I think there's something going on there. He's going to get signed by somebody. But assuming Jason Jackson's gone, I think that it's got to be Thad Jean and Shamil Musayev. But there's also Umlatov waiting in the horizon for one of these guys as well. So Umlatov is also a top competitor.
Yeah, no, there you go, dude. I mean, look, give me Musayev Thad Jean for the vacant title and keep the division moving. Bye, Ramazan. It's all good.
Yep. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it too. But I do want to say John Martin for the PFL, that was a good card. The pacing of that card was good. The fights on the main card were good fights. For you putting Kennedy St. Louis in there on short notice against Lazy King, that ended up being a competitive split decision.
What the fuck happened there? What is wrong with Lazy King? God damn.
I think that is when you're playing, Eddie, if you're Michigan, right, it's easy to get up for Ohio State. It's easy to get up for Umlatov, but when you're playing Appalachia State, what are you playing for? Yeah,
no, 100%. And I was annoyed. I was like, I hope he gets a fucking loss because Lazy King should have murdered him. It should have been over. It should not even been close, right? It wasn't that he underestimated the guy. He just Lazy King, lazy. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, he has a suffocating style when he can use it. But I thought that John Martin and the PFL did a really good job for their first fight card of the year, and I'm impressed and ready to see what happens moving forward. I could see that as well. That'd be probably, like you're saying, it'd probably sell in certain parts of the world. That'd be decent. They have a couple matchups. Umatov's up there. Musayev's going to want to bounce back here. Logan Storley. They got some guys, so we'll see what they do at 170 pounds in the PFL. One of their better divisions in the promotion, though. So, Eddie, John Jones. We got to talk a little bit about John Jones. Then we're going to have a discussion about some of the fights that just got announced as well. But John Jones might be done, Eddie. If he is, like, what are we? I mean, they've already ripped the Band-Aid off. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion, right? So do you think that John Jones comes back here? If it's not at the White House card, Eddie, I don't see him really coming back at all. I just don't think there's going to be a big enough moment for him. He's already gone out on his high horse against Stipe in front of Elon and Trump at MSG and done that. Do you think that John Jones is officially done? Is time to put the fork in the steak?
I think John Jones earned the right to choose whatever fucking fight he wants and win a fight whenever the fuck he wants to. I'm just being honest, right? Now, this whole thing happened because someone shot a video of John Jones and John just thought he was talking to a fan. I don't buy it. He is marketing people. Relax. Yeah, is his hip fucked up? Probably, right? But why the fuck would you tell some rando influencer that your hip is fucked up and you might be done fighting? Why would you do that? You're marketing. Why? Because when you come back and you fucking whoop ass, like, man, he did that with a shitty hip. You know what I mean? Maybe he's telling the UFC, I don't have to fight for you. Eat a dick. I don't have to come back, right? So that happens. He lets an influencer, first of all, when you are that, and again, DC beat me to all this. DC he said everything I wanted to say, and I don't know if he wrote it up, did a YouTube thing or whatever. But he said, why the hell did John Jones tell some rando about it, right? And then call him an asshole when he released it. Do you really expect that kid to not put that out there, whoever that was? That's stupid, right? It'd be stupid if you really thought that's what happened. No, he is marketing. This is all marketing, all right? Let's just relax, people, okay? Johnny Bones is done when he decides to, and his IQ is 12. But Johnny Bones will call it quits when he wants to. Right? He's one of those things that like, we just talked about the UFC's lack of stars, all right? He's a fading one, but he's still a star.
And he knows what he brings to the table, too, in this situation. He is the A side of A sides. He's the Floyd Mayweather of our sport right now. So
when fighters realize their own worth and they realize they can control their own careers and their own destinies because of said worth, that's what happens. That's why guys like Dana get upset. Guys like Joe Silva.
And the UFC just lets him go to boxing.
Just lets him go to boxing. It is what or PFL does for sure. So let me ask you something. I know we're on John Jones. Very quickly.
Yeah.
John Martin. How do you like what he's doing so far in PFL?
John Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just was saying over I like it. I think that the card was good. What he did with the Kennedy and Lazy King fight on short notice was good. When Umatov had to pull out on short notice and they put a guy in there and had a competitive matchup out of it, I thought that was good. The pacing of the card was well done.
No. Forget the card. Overall, do you think the PFL is in better hands with John Martin?
Then yeah, I do. I don't know how much. So here's the deal. I don't know where Don's at because I don't know who owns the PFL. He could still be an owner and stepping down from his managerial role or whatever.
Take Michael Bidwell. Take fucking notes, dick. Go ahead.
But
the Cardinals owner. Fine, sorry.
But from what I saw in the first card, I liked it. And for what I'm seeing moving forward, no tournament. We're putting stars in cities like Dalton Rosta's from Pittsburgh. He's fighting in Pittsburgh. They had that problem when they came to Chicago and didn't have Daniel James or Sabatello and had them fighting in Vegas and in San Antonio. So they're learning. And I think that guys like Pete Murray, who is an Under Armour executive who's now gone, he knows nothing about fighting. And when I said what I said about Hunter Campbell earlier, that businessmen are going to run this at one point when Dana leaves, I truly believe that. And when you see that in these other promotions, like we're seeing it in the PFL, it does not work. And Scott Coker, Bellator worked because Scott Coker's a fight guy. Scott Coker got his start in kickboxing and then ended up running a very successful promotion, but he is someone who worked in the fight business. Dana was a manager to Chuck Liddell and Tito, worked in the fight business. These guys are business people who just happen are in here in business positions at large companies now. So
do you think they're better at creating cards in the UFC right now? I'm not talking about Star, but you said it. The guys, but what's his name? The musclehead, fucking Rasta from Pittsburgh. They're putting him in Pittsburgh. They're
creating cards better now. Yeah,
there you go.
Yes, okay. They're creating cards better now under him, and I like that they got rid of the tournament format. I think he's listening to the fans and listening to the people in the media, and I think he's trying to do his best. That's all I have to say. I think John Martin is trying to do his best, which I don't know the others. I
was just wondering because you're my PFL guy, so I was like, I wonder what you think of it because I don't. I mean, to me,
I hope to talk to him. I hope he's after he actually goes to the press conferences, unlike the other guys that were running it, and he actually shoots it straight with us. And I think that he will, and he seems to be in charge of the thing. And I really like that someone has control over it and has the final decision, or so it looks like. But it
was a discussion in the media room, so I'm just wondering where you were at with that because I like what John Martin's doing, and not just because he falls in the Cageside press, just because I think he's doing a great job. Honestly, I think he could maybe be the one guy to maybe save it before it runs out of money, but we'll see.
Yeah, fresh start. He's doing the best that he can. I like it. That's all you can hope for at this point. But we did have an interesting matchup between Balaji Oki and Manol Souza that got announced, and Souza was obviously a really good fighter over in Bellator at the time. But Andre Arlovsky wins the BKFC heavyweight title over Ben Rothwell. Did you catch that one last weekend at all, Eddie?
Barely caught the end of it. We were shocked shitless. I was like, what the fuck? Arlovsky still winning fights?
I know.
And then he comes out, he's like, believe in yourself. I beat cancer 3 times, by the way. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, Arlovsky.
One of the toughest men ever.
Tough motherfucker, dude. How crazy is this guy? Still doing it at like 80 years old. Damn. Gotta hand it to him. That was dope. Now, I thought Rothwell was gonna get him because Rothwell is a dog. That dude's so goddamn tough. Yeah. But nah, dude, Arlovsky just fucking gets it. I don't know how he does it.
Yep. Andre Arlovsky stands the test of time, wins the BKFC heavyweight championship. But we have Ilya Topuria, who looks like he's going to be returning recently, Eddie. And the divorce got settled up. His wife withdrew the assault claims that she put into. When that's always great because you want your name, you don't want your name tarnished, right? And that was going out there, and Ilya had to defend that for a little bit. She obviously was lying about that and redacted it from the lawsuit. So Ilya Topuria finishes that up. And Eddie, the real question from all this: do you think he will return at the White House card, or at the end of the year, do we see Ilya Topuria in 2026?
Yeah. No, look, okay. Here's what happens with guys that get divorced, okay? How do you know one of your boys? One of my friends got divorced, and he didn't tell us for like 6 months, right? But you know how I knew? And I called him out at 3 months in. He started losing weight. He started getting shit, feeling good. He's wearing like nice shirts. He went out. He hit me up one time. My boy hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, let's go hit Mill Avenue over in by Arizona State." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 40, bro. I'm not going to fucking college town, but whatever, do your thing, right?" And then we found out. Illy just got divorced. He just got rid of a massive headache. He kept his home gym, right? He's got his kids and all that. Life is good. He's gonna come back. He's gonna be a new bachelor on the fucking he's gonna be a new bachelor. He's gonna be feeling good. He's gonna be training, looking good, and everything. He's gonna come back this year, and he's gonna put it on somebody, whoever it is. They're gonna get the Mackenzie Dern, coming off a divorce. Like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, I feel fucking bad for Justin Gaethje when he fights him. God damn, it's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, I think Ilya Topuria is gonna just shut his lights out bad. Like, I don't see any way that doesn't happen. So, Ilya Topuria will return this year. Hopefully, it's at the White House card. That would be a great event there.
I did not know this. Thanks for the heads up. Shea Bauer's going to PFL. Look, I thought the UFC was gonna snatch her up for contender series. PFL got her first. It is what it is. I like Shea. Shea's dope. Right, one of the most complete fighters, I think, in LFA. But that sucks. Like that, she didn't get her UFC shot back. We'll see. Maybe she gets something big in PFL.
All right, Eddie. Last thing we're going to talk about tonight: the court case that came out last week. Dana White said that he doesn't remember the last time he negotiated a contract. Hunter Campbell is in complete control of contract negotiation in talking to managers. So, Eddie, how surprised were you when you heard this? And my question for Dana is, if I see him in Houston, is there a path to where he ends up fully transitioning away from the sport of mixed martial arts at some point? Do you see that?
First of all, what I learned this week, and I already knew this, right? But I think it put it through. If you want to get Dana White to tell you the truth, sue him. Make him say it under oath. Because he's been forever. He's like, nah, I'm not leaving the UFC. I'm still on Bob and stuff like that. It took him having to put hand on Bible, whatever they do in course these days. We're like, I'm telling the truth under oath. For him to tell the fucking truth. And that's what it took. Amazing. That's all it took. So if you guys want Dana White to tell the truth, sue the motherfucker. That's how it works. All right. Now, do I think he's going to transition out? I think the transition is already going. He's already moving, doing the boxing thing. He's paying more attention to the boxing cards than he is the UFC cards. He was there on Saturday. He was there, cage side, watching whatever. And as soon after the first round, he knew what was going to happen. He bailed out, right? But does this whole thing is like, oh, I got big news. I'm going to be on Instagram, boxing. And yeah, I might go fuck around with these White House cards. Or this White House card, whatever. I think it's the beginning of the end. I think this whole lawsuit thing kind of is pushing it, right, into the public eye. I think we all see it. I think he probably wanted a quiet exit. Now it's going to be a loud one. Now, the question is, how long is it going to take? Is it going to be through 2026, right? And he's going to see his way out later or whatever. But I think it's about damn time too. I just wish it was a fight guy that was taking over and not like, what is it? What is it? Hunter Campbell? Is it an attorney?
Yeah. I
wish it wasn't an attorney because I don't trust Mick Maynard and Sean Shelby. No hate overall what you guys do. I don't trust either one of those guys to be able to run it like a fight guy.
None of them.
Right.
Now, let's be real. Once Dana White leaves, Ari Emanuel runs the fucking company. He owns it. Mm-hmm. He's the most powerful man maybe in the world of entertainment as far as an agent owning CAA and the huge corporations and huge agencies. He owns the UFC. He's in charge. And honestly, he's leaving it to Dana to kind of delegate shit to these guys. I don't know the relationship between Hunter and Sean and all those guys and Ari Emanuel, but he obviously has to be in complete control there. But like you're saying, I don't trust these attorneys that aren't fight guys.
No, I mean, and I get it. Mick Maynard is a matchmaker. Sean Shelby's a matchmaker.
Do you think Rogan leaves, though, when Dana does?
He said he would.
Damn.
He said he would. He can go out and do his podcast. I haven't watched in 6 years, but he said he would. I mean, do your thing, dog. Does Rogan need to do it? Hell no, he doesn't need to do it. He just wants to do it. But he said before, when Dana leaves, he's done.
Yeah. So. That'll be a day that fight fans will probably not look forward to. But no,
let's not fucking pretend like we're everyone's happy with Rogan's commentary. This has been bitching about his commentary for years now. You know what they're gonna do? Not fucking notice. No one's gonna notice.
I don't want somebody that's not Rogan.
I don't give.
I hate the commentary on these fight nights.
Well, what are you gonna do? Okay, what do you?
We gotta have somebody. I know that him and DC have a little bit too much fun sometimes. Yeah. You gotta have somebody that has fun. When you're Paul Felder and you're Dominic Cruz, and it's just buy the book, serious guy. Or Bisping, it's like all right, but you gotta have the dude who brings a little bit of when they spill ice in the cage. What are these three stooges doing? He has the Joe Rogan comedian value to the broadcast. That, I don't know.
Yeah, but he's one of one when it comes to that. He's one of one. They tried Jimmy Smith and PFL Belts or whatever it was. Matt Serra's gonna be screaming the whole fucking time, spitting out fucking pus out of his mouth, bro. That ain't happening. Fucking. Who would you bring in? Who would you like to bring in? Just like a name. Anybody.
To
or would you?
Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you'd.
I go.
I don't know if there'd be a guy.
I go Anik, DC,
Rampage Jackson.
Fuck no. I go Anik. Let DC be the fuck. Jesus Christ. Do you really want, bro? Have you heard Rampage Jackson talk?
He used to commentate Pride fights back in the day. He was on a two or three of them.
Did you hear him? Did you hear him?
He's not too bad.
No, he's terrible. Stop it. God damn. I'd rather have Josh Hogan call it. God damn. But give me.
That's the same. They're the same person.
Yeah, but Josh Hogan actually, still fights. Give me Anik. Give Jim Ross. Is Jim Ross still alive?
He is. He calls AEW, I believe.
No fucking way. He left it. I have not watched wrestling in forever, clearly, because I did not know that. All right. Give me Anik, give me DC, and DC to be like the funny guy. Just tell him, hey, lighten it up a little bit. And then do not put Cruz in there with DC, please, for the love of God.
They're gonna, who they're gonna put? They're gonna put Sanko.
That's what I'm saying. They probably put Sanko in there. I don't mind that too much. I would like to see them do one. I think they've done a couple of fight nights together and they were all right. But Shit, I don't know who you put in there.
There's not anybody that's as big of a personality as Joe is, though.
I mean, does it really matter? Everyone bitches about the commentary no matter what.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Fuck it, bring Chris Collinsworth.
Anthony Smith impression.
Just hurdle up in a ball.
Oh, Jesus. I still maintain he should have been like, I can't go on. Give me the belt. That's just me. I think it'd be hilarious. I think it'd be hilarious if he did that.
All right. That's what we got for you guys this week, fight fans. I will be in Houston next week for Strickland versus Hernandez, UFC Houston's Fight Night card. I've tried to get you guys a show on Wednesday night there with Pat and Eddie. If not, they might have to steer the ship for me if we're a little busy with editing from Media Day. But thanks for joining us, guys, and we will catch you next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time.
I will not be under the weather next week, folks. Sorry about it.